personnel groups. Oh, am I in and am I out? I thought you were in. I couldn't hear you. I couldn't find my helmet. There's just not that much going on the sidelines. And if you're in a away game, right? It's not the Viking horn.
No.
There's nothing going on that should be the distraction to cause you to only have 10 guys on the field.
Right. 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row.
In the NFL, I mean, mistakes happen, but that's a high school mistake. Not having 10 guys, not having full participation. Like, I can even understand sometimes I'm more forgiving if you have 12 guys on the field.
Yeah.
Because maybe there is just a miscommunication. So maybe somebody doesn't get off. We saw it against Indianapolis, right? Somebody just didn't get off the field in time, and Matt Stafford caught him. But to only have 10 guys on the field, and especially for a 2-point conversion last week where there is a stoppage of play, clock's not running, there's nothing pressing you. Hey, get in there, son.
Now, granted, okay, Trey Flowers did not play. But I want to ask you this question, because you know a hell of a lot more about it than me. Who is the Lions' best defensive player? Do the Lions actually have a good defensive player?
Well, I'll tell you this. No, they don't.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure.
That's the easy answer.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not missing something.
That I did like. And it's something I hope to see a little bit more of. And Austin Bryant had the punt block where he was the only one.
3 block punts in 2 weeks. That's unbelievable.
Right. Well, so he had the block punt, and then he's all fired up, and he's the only guy I see on defense with any type of energy. There's a play.
Because he hadn't played.
Well, because he's fresh, right?
I know.
But there's a guy who is trying to earn more time, trying to make a name for himself, trying to earn a roster spot, whether it's with the Lions or somebody else.
Well, he was the unheralded. He was a 4th-round pick. He was the unheralded one of that great Clemson defensive line.
Yes.
And the Lions took a chance on him, and he got hurt. He was hurt going into the draft anyway, and now he's healthy and he looked like he could play. You're right.
But the one thing that I liked about him, we are grasping at straws. But at the end of I think it was the Minnesota possession after that, Minnesota was going in, and they were somewhere around the 30-20, the plus 30, plus 20. And Austin Bryant pursued the play and hit one of their receivers, and I thought he was going to knock him out. And I jumped out of my seat because I was thinking to myself, my God, I saw somebody hit someone. I saw somebody with some aggression. I saw somebody with bad intentions wearing a Lions uniform. Hallelujah. But they're just so few and far between.
They really are. This is why, they sit there and split hairs about who they both need to be fired. But this is they are so bereft of talent. It's ridiculous, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll get into it more, but Dalvin Cook running across the middle of the field, and Jamie Collins just simply isn't fast enough to keep up with him. Now, I will say this, not a line of linebackers in the NFL are fast enough to keep up with him, but there is one that they passed last year that could have kept up with him.
Oh, yeah, I tweeted that out. Yesterday was the perfect, answer to the question from the draft. Because I said, all right, make your call right now. And we talked about it, and Gov knows this, the day after the draft, the show after the draft last year. Would you rather have Hockenson and Tavai or Bush and Irv Smith? And to us back then, right, Gov, it was so easy, right? It was Bush and Irv Smith. You need a tight end, draft him in the 2nd round. You need a linebacker, you draft Bush in the 1st round.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give Irv Smith hasn't done that much in the league. I mean, yesterday, so let's not act like he's... No, I do think Hawkinson's a better player.
Yes.
But Hawkinson wasn't worth the pick. I mean, you know what? You brought up your kids a few minutes ago, John. I was going to say, my son yesterday said, once Daniel came in through the pick, this is an 11-year-old, unsolicited, and I've never said around him, they should have taken Tua. He's just sort of starting to understand even what the draft means, Mm-hmm. And he said, unsolicited, this is why they should have taken Tua, Dad.
Yes.
Connor Milliken understands what the line should do more than Bob Quinn. This team is a joke, man. And if she has any cojones, she should fire him today. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. You're watching a Saints game all over again yesterday. Running down their throat. What an embarrassment. It starts with run defense in this league. And your quarterback, I'm sorry, he always makes a mistake. I'm done with him. He's never going to win anything. He doesn't care enough. And he's, like John, we were talking pre-show. How doesn't he know that linebacker's not going to be there on that first pick? It's a rookie mistake.
It really is.
I agree with everything you said, except he doesn't care enough. He cares.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he has.
Say something. Say something one time. Act like you care.
The fact that he even shows up with all the crap that happened over to him this week with his kid falling out of a high chair, I think is pretty impressive. Look, I'm not going to criticize his effort or whether he cares. I will criticize the way he plays, where every game it seems like, he plays well until he has to. That deserves to be criticized.
Enough with this guy.
That's fine. That's fine. Nobody's. I'm not disagreeing with that. The whole thing needs to be blown up. Yes, the whole thing. Goodbye.
And now they've allowed this regime to go get all these ex-Patriots and all these guys who are, for the most part, over the hill. And now it's going to take a massive fix to get these guys out of here and reshape this thing. Who's usable out of all these Patriots?
None. Maybe Harmon, but he's a free agent.
I mean,
It's the
I'm not gonna
Lions.
get mad about it. I refuse to. I'm not going to let him.
You're not going to get mad about it.
He doesn't care.
Yeah.
I'm sick of the free pass with this guy, man. He's not getting a free pass.
Not getting a free
He's not
pass.
getting a free pass.
You know what? What a guy does on the field, he always continues to make the bonehead move. There was a sack that he took early that caused, instead of a 38-yard field goal, Matt Prater misses a 46-yard field goal. And shouldn't have taken that section and thrown the ball away. Shouldn't have thrown the 2 interceptions. But there is at no point did I see a quarterback that didn't care about his team or trying to do better. It's just because
He's just
he
not
can't.
good enough.
Right, just because he can't doesn't mean he's not trying to do better.
Exactly. Our telephone number 248-539-9797.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Leftover weekend construction continues involving double lane closures, 94 eastbound traffic heavy and slow from the Willow Run bypass to Rossonville Road. For same-day service of your furnace or plumbing, call Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. 37 years in the business. A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, 800-924-2123. MastercraftHeating.com. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
97.1 The Ticket and CBS Sports Radio 1270. Your homes for the NFL on Westwood One. The New York Jets host the New England Patriots. Monday Night Football. Pre-game at 7:30 on 97.1 The Ticket.
This Radio.com Sports Minute is brought to you by Michigan's #1 realtor, Jeff Glover. This is Boomer Esiason with the Radio.com Sports Minute, sponsored by Hulu. Hulu has live sports. Tampa Bay was Sunday's biggest loser. Last night, the Buccaneers were embarrassed at home by the Saints, who swept the season series. It wasn't much prettier for Seattle. Buffalo hit Russell Wilson 11 times and sacked him 5 times. Dangerous committed an uncharacteristic 4 turnovers, 2 sacks, and 2 fumbles. Indeed, Phillip Rivers continues to struggle against quality defenses, as Baltimore demonstrated yesterday. Chicago's elite defense can't overcome the Bears' brutal offense. Another slow start for Nick Foles and company doomed them at Tennessee. And finally, no one loses more gut-wrenchingly than the Chargers. After surrendering a final play game-winning touchdown pass in Denver last week, the Bolts' Justin Herbert completed a final game-winning scoring strike yesterday, only to have it nullified on replay as a bobble. Ouch. Oh, the Chargers. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Hulu has live sports, which means you can watch football on Hulu Plus Live TV. That's right, from the biggest games to your favorite players like Baker Mayfield. Catch the action live on Hulu. Plus, get access to over 65 live channels and the largest streaming TV library, including exclusive originals and the hottest shows and movies. Start your free trial today so you don't miss a moment. Live TV plan required. Restrictions apply. Learn more at Hulu.com.
Napa know-how. At Napa, you can get 20% off 3 or more items with a 4
$4.99 Napa Tool Bag. Yep, 20% off power tools, 20% off wipers, 20% off oil and more. It's a whole bag of tricks. Well, actually, it's one trick over and over again, but it's a good one, saving you 20% on 3 or more items. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa Know-How. Napa Know-How. At participating locations, exclusions apply. May not be combined with other offers. Offer ends 11/30/20.
Amazon is now hiring near you. We're looking for team members who know that delivering important packages is important work. Ready to work hard to make someone's every day? Ready for benefits and flexible shifts? Immediate hourly roles are available at Amazon.com/apply. That's Amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
Our homes today are like little cities full of different interneting boroughs, like the entertainment district in the living room, or the virtual fitness center in the garage. And Xfinity Internet keeps it all running smoothly with reliable speed to power all your devices at once. You get coverage around town, from the financial district home office to the spa. Plus, get added protection to help keep your Wi-Fi network safe, like an at-home police station.
Xfinity Internet keeps your little city humming with reliable speed, coverage, and added security. Now that's simple, easy, awesome. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $25 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. You'll get advanced security free with the X5 Gateway. Just log in and activate through the Xfinity app. Or, now through November 10th, ask how to step up to one of our higher speeds and get up to $150 back. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 11/22/20. Restrictions apply. New performance starter internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Prepaid card offer only available at participating Xfinity stores or by calling.
Get ready to go rogue today, brought to you by the all-new 2021 Nissan Rogue. Fiercely reimagined with 5 unique drive modes, the all-new 2021 Nissan Rogue is ready for wherever the road takes you. Tune in at 6 p.m. for a full hour of limited commercial interruptions, driven by the all-new 2021 Nissan Rogue. Listen to 97.1 The Ticket on your smart speaker. Just ask it to play 97.1 The Ticket. Powered by Dell Technologies. Call 877-ASK-DELL. The names you trust. The teams you love. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Tony and Jansen.
Our telephone number is 248-539-9797, which is also the Ticket Text number. We invite your calls. Also, you can always listen to us on the radio.com app. The rewind feature for anything you missed, our show, and the other shows as well. All right, on the Ticket Text, Nate from the truck. Is it me, or did that defense in the fourth quarter look like they just gave up? I'm starting to wonder if this team is starting to give up on Patricia. I don't know if they're giving up on Patricia. I just don't think they're good enough. You might be correct there. You look at Patricia on the press conferences, and he just looks really beat down. And, he should. He has not done a good job. Stafford proved that he did not care about winning when he signed his second contract with the Lions. Anyone who cares about winning would never sign a second contract with this complete ridiculous organization. James says, Gov, you're right. Stafford just doesn't have that passion. He goes out there, just goes through the moves every week, and collects a paycheck. I think that's grossly unfair.
Yeah.
You don't think in 12 years that he hasn't sat down and one time addressed this situation as a whole? He's not a leader, okay? I'll say that much. He isn't. I mean, leaders stand up and say things at times. It may be empty words, hollow words, but I don't know. I don't understand how a human being could continue to go through this, doing the same thing over and over, this close to the situation, and expect something to be different.
Well, maybe he just doesn't do it publicly. From all you hear, he is pretty vocal in the locker room.
If he did sit down and talk to somebody in the media, it'd be Bernie or Mitch, and he'd get a softball. So
he doesn't do it in the media. So maybe, is that bad? I don't know. John, you're a player.
No,
Let me
one
know.
of the things my criticism of him pretty much his whole career is exactly what Gov said. I think that he's got a strong arm. We hear about, he can make every throw on the field. He can do all of these certain things, but that it factor,
right?
He just doesn't have it, and it's not a fault of his. He just doesn't have it. I mean, it's a fault on the field and for the organization,
correct?
But it doesn't mean he doesn't care.
Exactly.
There's two distinct, very different things there. His ability to, or his want to, is there. But it's just because you want to doesn't mean you're going to be a good leader. Doesn't mean you're going to be a great quarterback. Doesn't mean you're going to win a lot of games. I would never question his want to. I mean, He played games with a back that I think most quarterbacks wouldn't play. He came back when he doesn't have to play the game of football after having, the surgery that he had last year and recovering from, the missing, this past week. He didn't have to play on Sunday.
No.
He was going through the COVID protocol. His daughter fell and had a concussion. But even before you know that, right? It's an injury to your daughter. He's on his way home, and his wife. God love the Stafford family, and I think it is a great example of all of the things that sometimes go on behind the scenes for professional athletes. Everybody thinks that they have help, they have all of this stuff. No, they're still a family. They're still mom and dad, and not just the quarterback of the Detroit Lions.
Right. Like the texter might be right, passion. Okay, he doesn't show that emotion, but to say he doesn't care, I think is.
All right, I'll play a statement to say that. Maybe that's unfair. All right, I'll take that.
Right.
Strike that from the record. But I'm sorry. There's 12 years of this same old crap, and he is making numerous mistakes that a rookie makes.
Yes.
That pick six in Green Bay is one of his ugliest passes of his career, and I just feel like he's not being held accountable the way he should, along with these other two clowns in the coach and the management. I think he is on equal footing with them in terms of the way he should be criticized, and I don't believe that's happening in this town right now.
I still think takes a lot of criticism.
I still think there's people that think this guy's going to be. You can win with him. No, you can't. You cannot win with him.
I totally.
There you go. Don't get mad. Don't get mad.
Keeping Quinn and Patricia this year was strike one for Sheila. Keeping them next year will be strike two. They will not be back. Or at least one of them will be back.
I can't imagine they would.
No. And I think they both of them need to be. And actually all three. We need Stafford. Yeah. Tavai and Tabor in the second round, and Proof Quinn has no idea what he's doing. Both of these players may not have even been drafted. Well, let's not get carried away. They would have been drafted. They just definitely were not second round.
Well, and I think yesterday is a great example. You've got two teams coming into that game. Minnesota is 2-5. The Lions were 3-4. And coming out of it, you've got a Minnesota team that's 3-5. The Lions are 3-5, but the trajectory for Minnesota, and I'll use one of the terms that we've heard from one of our local coaches, is ascending.
Yeah.
Minnesota Vikings are ascending.
They're playing good. Hey, by the way, that Everson Griffin trade really looks good right now, too, huh?
Oh, boy, yeah. I was kind of hoping for some fireworks, right? The whole good, he didn't call me great. All right, let's see what you've got. Let's show him that you're great.
Instead, the revenge tour was Amir Abdullah.
His first catch of the game. Yeah, his first catch of the game goes for a touchdown.
If you're Sheila Fordham, don't you go to a well-respected person in NFL circles who knows front office management? I don't know who that is. It can be anybody. And just say, okay, so yesterday, this quarterback we passed on looks like he's got a chance to make it in the future with Tua. And I think Tua was, I know, John, you're the Herbert guy, but Tua was the reasonable thing. This is kind of like Carmelo and Wade all over again. If the Lions are going to go QB, it was going to be Tua.
You would think so.
Well, no, I wouldn't, because the injury thing. He can't stay healthy. I mean, we've seen him for 2 games, and yes, he looks good. And his skill set, yes, you would draft him on his skill set. I have no problem with that. I just thought Justin Herbert had a better skill set. He was better built to be an NFL quarterback. Either guy, I would have been happy with.
Right.
Okay, so either guy, though. So you got these 2 guys now that look like they're going to have a future in this league. I still think Burrow's going to be the best of all of them, but they didn't have a chance.
Yeah, he wasn't an option.
And so the fact that, okay, well, we didn't take him, and I can understand that. And I was even part of being along with that to a degree, because I was concerned about Tua's injury, and I didn't think Herbert would be as good as he is right now. But how can't you get value out of that 3rd pick? They just sat there and let those quarterbacks fall. To me, that is the most incriminating thing out of all this. Maybe they didn't. A lot of people are out there who wanted Tua, and I get that. But the fact that, let's say you didn't get the value out of that.